Hello everyone, hopefully you had a great weekend and a great trading week this past week. We're going to go over some tickers and we're going to look over the medium to high impact news drivers for this upcoming week. That way we know what to expect. Okay, first things first, we've got forexfactory.com, the calendar here that shows us the medium to high impact news drivers. It looks like it's going to be a pretty jam-packed week. Aside from Monday and Tuesday, there's no news on those days. Doesn't mean that we can't trade it. It's just you got to be cognizant of that because there might not be any huge moves. But however, on Tuesday we've got JOLTS job openings and consumer confidence. On Wednesday we have ISM manufacturing PMI. There's also non-farm employment change. On Thursday we have non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and unemployment claims. And then on Friday, again, nothing on Friday, same thing as Monday. But now that we covered the events for the upcoming week, let's hop into some tickers. So of course, I gotta look at my main squeeze, the NASDAQ. So I always start on the daily. And I already have everything erased, that way we could start over fresh. Okay, so we've got daily change state of delivery, we've got all-time high here, which we failed to hit on this move up, and then we just sold off. And then we're kind of just in this area now. So because we already closed below the suspension block, now my anticipation is for something like this. So come up and then down. We have sell side over here. So this is my anticipation heading into this upcoming week. We're probably, I guess we'll see how Sunday trades, Sunday at 6 p.m. See how that trades, where we open up, and then see how Monday trades as we're heading into the AM session and the PM session, and then that'll give us clues as to where the rest of the week could potentially go depending on the daily profile and the weekly profile. But so far, this is where I think we're gonna head this week. Or we could just consolidate in this area. Spend the whole week just consolidating. And then whether we go down or we go up. And now that's to be determined based on how the rest of the week trades. But so far, my anticipation is something like this. Because we also have a bearish order block here as well. Not extend that. So we have a bearish order block here as well on the daily. So daily change state of delivery. There. And you can see on Friday we kind of went up into it and then we rejected and came back down, and then we closed below the suspension block. So I want to see how we trade heading into the beginning of this week, and then by the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, I should have a better read of where we're heading. But so far, I think we'll head down for this sell side just based on us closing below the suspension block. We have a daily change state of delivery here. We have another change state of delivery here. So until we get a candle close above this daily suspension block high, I'm thinking we're going down. So until that happens, I am bearish. And then as for intraday trades, yeah, we're just gonna have to take trades in between this area and see which way we want to head up or if we want to head down. But that's it so far in NQ, at least on the daily. If we go to the 4 hour, this is what the 4 hour looks like. There is a small fair value gap here, which is in discount of the range. So if I mark this out, 4 hour BISI. So we could see a little bit of support here on this level and then start to trade up. But again, we're gonna have to find out and see. And the part that I was mentioning about it being in discount of the range, this is essentially what I'm talking about. So we take the low from here to the high up here. This fair value gap is in discount of the range, meaning it's in the bottom 50% of this entire range. So everything up here is premium, everything down here is discount. So if you're short, you want to be shorting preferably up in here to go down, and if you want to take a long, you preferably want to take your long down in here. If there's signs that it's gonna push back up. This is where you want to take your longs from. But this is in discount of the range. So like I said, we could see some support here and maybe a bounce off of that. There is this one here as well. And then we already closed below that low here. So this is its own change in state of delivery on the 4 hour. So we could even just see something like this and then down. But we'll see, right? If, when, if, then. And that still kind of plays into my idea of us taking out this sell side here. So we'll see how we trade heading into the open and the middle of the week. Okay, moving on to ES. We can see that there's also a fair value gap here. I'll just mark out the volume imbalance because there are no candles in between here aside from what we had coming down here. So this is a daily volume imbalance, all-time high here, and then we have sell side down here. So this is our dealing range so far. Change state of delivery here, change state of delivery here as well. Here we didn't even come back up into this because this right here is a SPY, and as you could see on those candles there, this candle high did not tap into that SPY itself, and then we just started selling off. So in this example here, or this clue, this is already pretty bearish because it couldn't even get back into that fair value gap before it started dropping. But that's the daily, and this, you know, like I said, it's the same thing. Kind of, if we get a retrace, I'll be looking for rejection up in this area, right? And then a continuation down to the sell side. We could even just dump right at the open because of the news over the weekend about the US bombing Iran. Same premise, same analysis as NQ. Go to the 4 hour, the same setup as NQ as well. But yeah, I'll be looking at this sell side, or if we decide to retrace up, I'll be looking for a rejection up in this area. And then same thing, if we get a candle close above this daily volume imbalance, then I'll be looking for longs after that. But until that happens, I'm still bearish. So we'll see how the week goes. Okay, this is SPY on the daily. A lot of volume imbalances in here. Changes to extended, it'll be a lot better. So that's the 4 hour. This is the 1 hour. Now we are on extended trading hours, so it should show everything with extended, which is why there's blue and orange here, because it's showing after hours and then pre-market. But looking at this, I mean, you could even fib this as well. There you go. So we hit 3.5, 3.5 there. Didn't close above the quarter of that, the lower quarter of that. So I'm gonna take quarters here, draw that up, and then we extend that out. You can see that the candlesticks did not close above the lower quadrant of this range, and then we started selling off. Then we pulled back. This time we hit the low of it, and then we sold off even more. That's the 4 hour. But on SPY, we did take out the lows here already. So we took out sell side here, so we could work our way back up. All depends on how we trade into the open, and then Monday, Tuesday, and then like I said, Wednesday I'll have a much better idea of where we're heading. But that is it for SPY. It's kind of tricky because we already took out sell side here. So because we took out this short-term sell side, we could just work our way back up. And if we go back to like NQ, see, like we didn't take that low out yet, and neither did ES. This is the low on June 10th. So if we go back to SPY, June 10th, right here. So we did take out that low already. And then quick run back up. So it already is showing unwillingness to continue lower, at least on SPY. But we'll see how NQ and ES trades, because that'll likely be the indicator for SPY of where it's going. Looks like I already did some analysis on the dollar. Yep. So looks like I was anticipating a pullback and then go higher, and then that's exactly what happened. The last time I looked at it was at least May of this year. So about a month and a half ago was what the last time I looked at the dollar. But yeah, it looks like we smashed all those buy side targets already, because I only marked it up to here, and then I used 1 hour manipulation to the downside. We hit 4 over here and then started heading back up. So let's look at this again. So it looks like we didn't take out this buy side yet, and there's also buy side here. Okay, so we've got buy side targets. I'm gonna delete this because it's no longer valid. Same as this and this and this and that. I think I had something on live. No. Oh, yeah, get rid of that as well. Get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna check to see, because this is the lowest swing point before we started reversing. So what is that showing us? So it's showing that we're rejecting off the top of the 2.5 retracement reversal level. Okay, and then we've got 3.5 over here, and then we've got 4. So 4 would be here. So with the dollar, it really depends on how we treat this retracement / reversal area. So we could either reject it, start working our way back down, or we could use this as support and then start hitting our way back up. So because we already hit 2.5, it's kind of 50-50 at this point. But if I was to go long, I would try to get in somewhere down here. So when the pullback comes down, get in somewhere in this area once it starts to show support, and then ride it all the way back up, because we still have, if this is bullish, we want to ride it to 3 and then even possibly 4. 4 is where it'll finish if this sequence from way down here completes. So right now it's kind of like halfway through, because we're at 2.5. So if it pulls back and continues, then yeah, it'll stop at 4. It could still even reverse from here. But if we're anticipating the indices to be bearish, then we would want to see the dollar going up, because it's usually inverse of equities and indices. So when the dollar's going up, indices and equities are usually going down, and then vice versa. If dollar's going down, then indices and equities are going up. So now that everything's pointing upwards, we want to see NQ go down, want to see ES go down, want to see SPY continue coming down, and then everything else as well. So like, you know, stocks, we want to see the stocks come down. What else is there? Meta, right? We want to see Meta come down. Overall, we want to see stocks and indices come down if we're expecting the dollar to go up. We don't want them to be decoupled. We want them to stay coupled. That is it for NQ, ES, SPY, and the dollar. If you want me to go over something else, by all means, put it in the chat, in the Discord, or, you know, send me a message, hit me up. We'll go over it together. But that's it for me. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will see you all in the Discord or on YouTube if I decide to go live, or if I put up another analysis video. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day or night, and I'll see you all later. Bye, everyone.